Hi everybody and welcome to this edition of Coffee Tech. Hope you got your coffee or your favorite beverage with you, because today I've got a developer preview of Windows 11 on my computer back here. How's it going? It's going pretty good so far. I want to give you my 3 favorite new features, and yeah, we'll go over it right after this. Well, yeah, right after this. Let's cut to the intro. See you in a minute. Hey guys, welcome back. Thanks for watching through the intro. Anyway, I just wanted to remind you guys, if you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe and like the video and subscribe and hit the bell icon down below somewhere so you know when new videos are coming out. And with that, let's take a look at the desktop here. I'll go over my 3 favorite features of Windows 11 so far. Okay, everybody. Hey, how are you? And you're looking at my screen right now. And this is Windows 11. And I got lots of stuff going on, and we're going to get into how we're going to organize all this in a second. But first off, I want to go over my first new cool thing about it is kind of the interface. There's a new start bar, as you can see right down here at the bottom. You can see my mouse at the bottom of the screen. This is like new. You can also move this back over to the side if you don't like it in the middle. And there's your familiar Windows start button. But they've reorganized things a little bit in here, which is very cool. So they have your recommended stuff. This is stuff that you've used recently or used frequently is going to be down under recommended. And they do have more options there too. Up here is all your pinned applications. You can see the settings made a move over to this now. So you're not going to see it over here on the side by the clock and everything anymore, which is pretty neat. I actually like that change. It kind of cleans things up a little bit, makes things all accessible in one kind of area, which is nice. Also in here, you can see your alarm, just little things like that, some tips, typical things that you would normally see in your start menu. And if you want to go to all apps, you can of course do that too, and just see a ton of all your apps all listed alphabetically, with the top ones being your most used. So that's number one. I really like that. It's very clean, very Mac-like, Apple-like, I guess I should say. Like the rounded corners. I like that it's a little bit translucent where you can see behind the start. So very cool. I really like it. Okay, the next thing that you're seeing on my screen here is I have 4 different windows open, and it looks, well, it's very unorganized. So let's organize this a little bit. And how we're going to do that is with the snap windows and snap groups. So this is a really cool addition. So all you have to do, if you can see my mouse pointer over this window right here, I'm going to go up to where there's the minimize, the maximize, and the close X, which is all the same as it used to be. But I'm going to just hover my mouse over the maximize. Now here you can see a menu opened up with 4 different options, and these are how we can organize our windows, our open windows in Windows 11. So we have 4 windows open here. So hey, here's a perfect scenario for us to use here. So it's going to highlight where you want the current window that you're currently on to be placed. So I'm just going to say, hey, I want it up in the left corner. And boom, it snaps there. Now you see the window is broken up into 4 different slices of a pie, basically. And let's see, where do we want the next window? We can put this one there. And let's see, which one do we want over here? Let's put our Windows Store one there. And we'll put our Game of Solitaire over here. Wow, that's pretty cool. So you can also kind of adjust these windows as you see fit. So if you want to make that move over a little bit that way or this way, or you want these to go, that one to go up a little bit. So you can arrange these however you really like in the size and dimensions that you really want it. So I don't know why it took Microsoft so long to add this in, but it's a very cool feature. And the other really cool thing is if you have multiple monitors hooked up to your computer, so pretend this is monitor 1, I do have a second monitor attached. You can do this exact same thing on that monitor separately, which means if you have 4 separate applications over, you can organize all those on a second monitor. And if you happen to have a third monitor, you can do the same thing. So you can have 12 different windows all open at the same time, all organized in this type of way. You can also do the same thing as you saw. I'm hovering over, this bottom left window right now on the maximize button, and you can divide this into thirds, into halves, however which way you want. So it's really very customizable, and it's just cool. It just works. So a very neat feature. So that's Snap Windows and Snap Groups, because now if I hover down below and I'm over one of these windows, you can see that the Microsoft Store has its own window, as you can see, but it's also part of this group. And so I could bring up just this on its, well, I can't really bring that up on its own. Let's go open something else. Here, I'll open the widgets because this is the next thing that we're going to be talking about. Let me actually minimize that for a second. So this group that we have open here, you can see I have that closed now, but if I do that, then my group comes back. I don't know if this is making sense, but yeah. So there you go. So that's basically the groups in a nutshell. So let's move that over. Actually, let's close. Well, we don't really have to close them. So the next thing is widgets, and you saw a brief of that, but here's the widgets panel, I guess you could say. And it's pretty cool. It's got kind of a curated mix of different topics and things from Microsoft. But they're curated from all different news sources. Yeah, it's pretty neat. At the top here, you can customize this for what you want. So you can make this larger if you want the NBA scores, or really large. You can do the same thing with these stock quotes here. And some tips here. These are tips from Microsoft. So you can add those bigger, smaller. And esports I have loaded here. You can add more widgets, and there's some different options there that you can take a look at. And you can also do searching the web from here as well. So that's a pretty cool feature too. So that's about all I went over so far. Now, also full disclosure, I haven't had really the opportunity to dive deep into this yet. I signed up for the Windows Insider program as a dev at the dev level, and soon after that, it asked me to run the update. And I reluctantly did that last night about 9 p.m. It took a little bit of time, probably about 20 to 30 minutes. Computer came back up, and well, maybe a little longer than 30 minutes. Computer came back up, and I was on Windows 11. Pretty crazy. Anyway, this is what you get. So far, so good. I have not tried to run any. I haven't tried to run any games yet. So this that you're seeing up here, I haven't actually gotten to run the cloud gaming stuff yet. But it does work great. I'm on my Xbox controller right now, scrolling through some of the Game Pass games, and yeah, so that works great. And this is actually the Game Pass running in a browser. So this is brand new for PC as well. But the regular Game Pass is still running. At least I think it is. maybe it's not. So if we minimize, let's close out some of these windows that we don't care about. And let me go ahead and launch the Xbox app. And Game Pass should load right up. That's a whole, it's really a whole other video. But yeah, you can see it loads. Just like it did before, maybe a little bit slower. But yeah, there we go. But yeah, but the fact that you can do, instead of having to play all your games locally, you can do it through the web browser too, which is cool. And that's available for everybody on Windows 10, whatever you got, even on Mac. So that's about it for what I wanted to cover today in today's video. So let's get back to me in person and we'll wrap this whole thing up. Be right back. Oh, hey guys, welcome back. So I hope you enjoyed that. It was a very brief kind of just overview of what I think so far of Windows 11. Is it evolutionary or kind of just a incremental upgrade, or like revolutionary kind of upgrade, totally different? There's a lot of familiarity with Windows 10 in there. You just have to dig under the covers to find it again. Some things are rearranged, everything looks very clean and crisp, and it just looks good. And everything's pretty snappy. It works pretty well. So I'm kind of impressed with what they've been able to achieve so far. I haven't really ran into any glitches yet, but of course, I've only been using it for a few hours. I haven't launched a game that I have stored locally yet. I did play some Xbox games through the cloud gaming on the PC because that just came out also, and I wanted to try that. That works pretty good. So I have a lot more testing to do, and there's another upgrade sitting on there, or an update sitting on there that I need to reboot and get installed. So who knows if that's a fix. I think it's a Windows 10 update, which is odd. And here's another odd thing. I don't know if you did check out the weekly report, I did talk about how how my computer wasn't ready for Windows 11. I need a CPU upgrade. My CPU is older. It's an older AMD Ryzen 7 1700X, and that apparently is not going to be supported. You have to go to the 2700 or above to start getting supported CPUs. So I just kind of figured, well, I guess I'm going to wait until either they change their minimum requirements or I just upgrade my CPU when Windows 11 is available later this year. Well, to my surprise, it came up after I joined the Insider program and it said, hey, you're not going to be able to get it because your system isn't worthy. It gave me the update. So I very reluctantly installed it and rebooted and just kept my fingers crossed because I did not do a backup. Always do a backup, especially for stuff like this. I did not do a backup, so I was just throwing caution to the wind and saying, hey, what the heck, let's try this. It came up fine. It installed without a hitch. It took a little bit of time, but it was great. It was a very smooth experience for the upgrade. And this is early days, so I'm expecting things will get better. So now there are some features that they talked about, like the Android apps. That's not available yet in the preview. I think there's some other things that aren't available. I haven't really dug too deep yet to see. But there's some things that are going to be added, and so that'll be nice to see whenever that does happen. So we'll see how that goes. And of course, I'll keep you guys updated on the show, let you know how things are. So once again, that is it for today. So thank you so much for paying attention and watching all the way through. Again, please like and subscribe and hit the bell icon so you know when new videos are coming. It really helps that you like the video, because that helps with the algorithms on YouTube, helps me get to more subscribers, helps me kind of keep this going. So please do your part if you would, please, and like and subscribe. And that's it for me. Thanks again. This is John from Coffee Tech. Keep drinking your coffee this morning, if it's morning, or whatever time I guess it is, or your milk, or your beer, whatever. Anyway, sign off. We'll see you guys next week for another episode of Coffee Tech. Take care.